the number actually of unique people using internet on a recurring basis is even lower than that. And from our best guess, there are less than 100 million unique mobile internet users in this country, a lot of whom are still experimenting with the internet. So it's definitely a challenge, but the market is growing fast. We've also been growing with the market. I think India is very early. I think the first idea is how do you cover the first 100 million people and then go from there. So I think that's the path we're on right now.
All right, that's interesting. So I recently read on your interview, which said your goal is to reach 100 million pretty soon. I think in the next 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think within 18 months.
Within 18 months, right. So considering that WhatsApp, which is the best competitor right now, has 50 million users already, in India, and considering the fact that the projection says there are going to be only around 150 million people, that the internet is going to go through in terms of the messaging platform, how do you think achieving that target would be much easier?
So we look at messaging as something much more than simple text and photos. We believe messaging can be a highway to the internet in a mobile-first country. We must realize that 1 billion people will come onto the internet for the first time in their lives, onto the internet. Demand for content is huge, but there's a fundamental lack of understanding of what the internet means. And we believe messaging can help solve that. So that's our audience. And we want to go beyond simple messaging and build that gateway, that highway to the internet for most people in this country. And I think, broadly speaking, let's say in 5-10 years from now, a lot of India will come online. It's very obvious. It's not a matter of if but when. And the question is, can Hike, build enough innovative features that solves problems in the market for different parts of the population? Okay. We're already seeing a lot of diversity in the application. We have people doing some stuff in the south that is completely the opposite of what people are doing in the north.
Okay.
And that's very interesting. So I think tackling those challenges will help us get to that 100 million mark within 18 months.
So would you kind of brief on what is that difference that you've seen between the utility of the north versus the south?
Sure.
And I'm thinking this all about India, right?
Absolutely. I think the simple example is stickers. The kind of stickers that work in the south and the frequency and velocity of sticker sharing is very different from the north. And that's a very thin example. Different content works in different parts of the country. The content consumption patterns are different, and so on and so forth. And we'll see a lot more of this happen as we build out Hike and as we go deeper in these markets going forward.
That's true. So when we talk about the content, it's no more just text. It's no more just images. There's videos, there is sounds, etc. All this is being shared. For a free messaging platform, that's like a lot of data that's shared, and a lot of this space that's used. I mean, if I may put it that way. How do you manage to incur or bear all that cost, keeping the messaging free or keeping the product free?
I think we definitely have to optimize on. See, the goal that we have is that in any internet company starts off by trying to solve a problem, and our mission is how do we bring India online. And if you look at the world and look at any company out there with 100 million plus users, you eventually, when you have that scale, you buy time to figure out how to monetize. Now, the business models in messaging are not new. You look to the east, there's a lot happening there. You look to the west, there's some stuff happening there too. And the big question is, can we build a great product that's localized to India first with a very strong network? And then look at sort of monetizing the user base. We're doing hundreds of terabytes of data, if not more now, every month on the platform.
That's right.
That's growing very rapidly too, and that shows us the propensity of users to consume data and content. And we just hope that keeps going up and up.
Well, that brings you to another challenge, right? The regulators are at this point in time, most of the mobile operators are saying we don't have a fair playing role. You've already eaten up our SMS. Now you're also eating up our call tariffs out of us. Isn't that actually going to be a deterrent to actually to grow to a new level?
I honestly believe that, and I've spoken about this multiple times. So every couple of decades, you have a technological shift, a revolution happening that disrupts the older business model. We're seeing that in messaging very clearly in multiple parts of the world globally with the internet. The question is, what's the result of that? The disruption. And I believe it's not bad because, because of Hike, because of Facebook, because of YouTube, people are buying data. And as a result of which, you have telcos that have double-digit percentage top-line revenue from data, and that'll grow. And I think the total addressable market of people consuming data versus SMS is much larger. The ARPU on data packs is much larger too. So look ahead a year, 2 years. Data growth will be monstrous, be very large, and I think that'll more than overcome any possible cannibalization that happens on SMS. So it's a win-win, and I think it's important that we look ahead a couple of years and see that coming out, because I think in the short term we're seeing people struggling to come on. That will change. It's happened in the US, it's happened in China, it's going to happen in India.